You are going to be completely surprised in what George Kittle kind of offers up as maybe his magic sauce that gets him going before games when he has like massive statistical games. What he kind of gives credit to, and how it's now become a superstitious thing, not only for him, but for Fred Warner and for other players. And this sounds like something that they do before every game. And hey, it's interesting, but it is such a George Kittle thing, and it's a phenomenal story. Take a listen right here.
In 2021 season, we had like a bad couple games in a row, and my dad, before a Seattle game, gave me like a pumpkin loaf from Starbucks. I ate one, and I sit down next to like Juice and I think Jimmy. I was like, hey, you guys want one? They're like, yeah, sure, I like pumpkin loaf. And so like, take a bite. And that game, I don't think we won it, but I had like 180 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Jimmy got a half roll left, throw middle, caught by George Kittle.
After the first touchdown, Juice is just screaming in my face like, pumpkin loaf!
Stop.
Pumpkin
Stop.
loaf! Just screaming in my face, pumpkin loaf.
And Jimmy asked him, he goes, what the hell did you eat today?
You know,
or something.
Is it the pumpkin loaf? I'm like, it's the pumpkin
That's
loaf.
amazing.
And so then the next week, Jimmy or Juice is like, you got the pumpkin loaf again? So like now my dad's like, I'll have the pumpkin loaf, I swear. This time he gives me like 5 loaves, so a couple more guys eat it. We go into Cincinnati, I had like 160 yards and a touchdown.
Caught by George Kittle.
Oh my goodness.
And everyone just screaming pumpkin loaf in my face.
Oh my God.
So the pumpkin loaf has just randomly become a part of my pregame routine.
Hey, you left before the pumpkin loaf, dog. Claire brought you a pumpkin loaf this morning. She drove it and picked you up one, and you left.
You know, there was one week where, like, what you got there? Like, you know, I got Claire to get us some pumpkin loaf. You want some? I'm like, yeah, why not? I ended up eating it. I think I may have had my best game eating some pumpkin loaf. I don't want to say I do it every game, right? But it's something that, if it's available, might have me a little pumpkin loaf.
Shout out NFL Films for the video. Who would have thought pumpkin loaf from Starbucks is the fuel that gets George Kittle going? And turns out big statistical output games and all that crazy stuff. I think stuff like this is hilarious. I love these stories. I love these random things that we would never think about to even ask or discuss that get brought up, and these guys are like, yeah, dude, pumpkin loaf. That's something that our entire team is kind of rallied around. Pumpkin loaf. Like Fred Warner even like it, man. If I had pumpkin loaf and I had one of my best games, like that is just hilarious. And it also feels like a natural opening for and sponsorship opportunity for Starbucks. If I was Starbucks and marketing manager, I would be hopping all over this. And we would be getting ready to run ads for pumpkin loaf with George Kittle. That's without a question. Like, if you're on Starbucks marketing team and you're not doing that, you're failing. You're failing at your job. But again, it's just hilarious. The superstitious aspect and nature of these types of things, you know, like when he just, you know, like the boombox entrance, they change the song if they lose. So that's part of it. They rock with the same song. If they lose, they swipe it and they choose a new song. The pregame stuff that, you know, there's a routine that players do. That they feel if they divert from it sometimes that it could mess up their game, kind of mess up their flow and all that type of stuff. And it's pretty hilarious that for George Kittle, it all boils down to pumpkin loaf. That's crazy. It's crazy. But honestly, I've seen crazier things. In the last couple weeks, we've learned that George Kittle and CJ Beathard have matching butt tattoos, and pumpkin loaf is the magic ingredient to get George Kittle balling out, along with other NFL players. I love these stories. What about you? What do you think of this pumpkin loaf thing? Should the 49ers be delivering pumpkin loaf to the entire team? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.